So welcome. I am here with a very special guest, Cheryl Gregory. And Cheryl does a lot of work to help people connect better with their team and to develop a better connection for salespeople when they're doing their sales process. Cheryl has a very interesting spin on helping people to connect, and so I thought I have to bring her in here to give you, a little flavor, a little taste of what it is that Cheryl does and how amazing her process is. So welcome, Cheryl.
Well, thanks, Dana. Good morning. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. I love talking about connecting because I love to connect with people. And it's not just connecting like network connecting, because I like that too, but just the feeling when you connect with somebody on a different level and you just start to understand one another. A lot of people recognize themselves in other people, and so they connect immediately, and that's what that is. And sometimes they don't recognize something in somebody else, whether it's a client or a teammate, a colleague, a boss, and it can be really uncomfortable because they're not feeling that nice, soft, comfortable spot. It's like, okay, my boss has been telling me something for 5 minutes. I have no idea what he's just said. That's scary.
Yes, that could be potentially hazardous.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. And then, of course, then the nerves start, and then you really start to implode. So when I talk about connecting, I've developed something, a really quick to learn, easy to remember system, because there's lots of different sort of personality exams out there. But for me, I'm not one who remembers detail well, and you'll see that in one of the personalities, but I just like something that's kind of fun and easy and breezy. So I developed something called the DEAL, D-E-A-L, and each of those letters, of course, is one of the personalities, and we're hardwired with different characteristics. So D's are doers, E's are entertainers, A's are analysts, and L's are lovers. So right there, the simplicity is there. You don't have to remember what color anyone is or what,
yes.
or what anything. Like doers are the doers. They get stuff done, right?
Or the classic ENTP is like, yes. I can't remember.
I still can't remember. And I studied so many of those, and I really like to think, this is what I am. And I go, what was that again? What? Yeah. It just doesn't work for me. So I thought, let's do something really easy, because I don't want people who take this to have to keep going back to notes to remember what it is. I want it to be just something that kind of goes into the DNA a little bit. And so, there's a doer. An entertainer, of course. The ones over in the corner laughing, all the jokes. They love the limelight.
The divas.
If they got bling, they're probably entertainers, right?
Look at me.
Yeah,
yes.
Hello. That's enough about me. How about me? So, and then analysts, well, that's straightforward, very detailed, logical.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that the doers and entertainers can sometimes get frustrated with, because it's like they never close. I've told them everything. I can't close them, and they can, but that's where we start to apply some of the skills. And then lovers, of course, are the people pleasers.
Yes.
They can't say no. They want everyone to be happy. They want everyone to get along, and they're wonderful people.
We're just gonna sit and sing Kumbaya.
Yeah.
It'll all work
Why can't
out.
we just all get along?
Yes.
And they're terrific, and everyone comes to their defense, like they're fantastic people. So it's a really simple, easy to learn system. So I go through, there's the usual little assessment that everyone goes through, and we're all a blend of all of these. We just have different scores. So for example, I score very high in doer entertainer, a little lower on the analyst, a little lower on the lover. So when I walk in a room, I'm probably going to be, my energy is going to reflect that I'm here, And it's like, I'm so anxious to meet people. We're outgoing. We love to be with people, but the doer can be task oriented. And when you get something in your mind, it's like a train on a track. It's like, go for it, and like, look out, sharpen the elbows, and get it through. And sometimes we can be kind of abrasive. We don't mean to be. It's not intended. It's just
like, get to the point.
Yeah. So what? That kind of thing, and that can really knock someone back, right?
Yeah.
An entertainer, again, high energy, people oriented, but more influential, as opposed to the doers, which are bossier, a little bit more aggressive, and out of my way if you're not going to do it, right? Whereas entertainers like to involve, and they're the huggers. They just bring everyone in and let's have some fun, and it's going to be great, it's awesome, one of those. So those people are great. So, for example, when I'm a doer entertainer mix, a little higher in entertainer. So when I'm doing a presentation live, I'm very energetic. Or if I'm doing a workshop, very high energy, love to get people involved, just love it. When I'm in my office on task, it's like, don't interrupt me. Because the flames, talk about flames, flames can shoot back at you if I'm in that zone, if I'm in that concentrated zone. I look like two different people. But that explains some of those characteristics in certain circumstances. Mm-hmm. So it gives you a little bit of an idea.
It's really good to know, have an idea of like, okay, these are the different personality types, and being aware of the differences. And then of course, I'm sure you talk a lot about how to deal with that.
How to deal with it. So first step is to know yourself, obviously, and then understand why you're doing these things. Because sometimes, I don't know why I get so impatient with certain people. You'll learn why. So that's important. And then the acknowledgement piece to say, oh, so when I start tapping my fingers when that certain person talks and showing impatience, what is the impact I'm having on that person? And why aren't they cooperating the way I want them to? Well, yeah. So once you learn yourself, you get to learn who your staff are, the people you're working with. You can then learn what you have to do to adjust, pull back some of that aggression. If you're with an analyst or a lover who's a little bit shyer, a little bit quieter, you don't get in their face because they'll back away, they'll shut down. You won't get cooperation from them, understandingly. Now what they have to do for you is speed up and get a little bit more direct with you, and a little bit more energetic with you. So we go through all those kind of exercises, which is really interesting. The second piece on that is brings in coaching, because once you get to know yourself and your staff and you start to understand how to speak to them, the actual body language to use and the verbal phrases you can use that will connect and they'll understand you. Yep. You will acknowledge all of those things, but you have to, when you get into coaching, here comes another absolute love of mine, because I believe that coaching should be the DNA of any organization. From the top on down, everybody should be a coach in a management position. And if everyone is consistent with that, it will create an amazing culture within that company, that everyone's collaborating, everyone's going for the same goals, everyone is not afraid to take a risk, because it's a very supportive environment. And you're not going to get your face chopped off, right? So, and the coaching becomes really good, because not only do you coach whatever the item is that someone needs help on, you know how to say it verbally, you know how to say it with body language, so that person receives it and then can go, wow, I understand, I'm being heard, I'm being acknowledged, and they will turn around and be inspired.
Yes, and automatically they're going to want to do more for the company, for the organization, for the group, whatever that situation is. That's
the exact goal. That's exactly what it is. And that's the benefit, because, right now you could have a lot of absenteeism because people are upset, right? They're not feeling good, so they end up sick, the physicality of it. But if they're feeling inspired to work instead of being like driven to work or told to work, it's a totally different environment, and you'll have people coming to work happy and wanting to do great jobs. So it's great for the executives, for managers to employ in their business and in their coaching, but also for the frontline people, the sales people, and the customer service people reading clients, people that they might see. We learn how to take a look at their body language and see who that person is physically, or they can judge pretty well who that person is as they're walking from the body language, and immediately start that connection process. So if they see somebody's really sort of high and, the entertainer, then they're going to pull their energy up and say, hi, how's it going? And that person will connect. If it's somebody who's an analyst and they're a little quieter, may I help you today? What can I help you with? You're going to be quieter, softer. You're going to pull that body language in a little bit, right? But that will connect with that person, because they're going to feel like you understand them.
Yeah.
I just love this. Can you tell?
Absolutely. I love it.
And definitely this is an art. This is, a skill that gets developed over time. But, even just the level of the understanding that people are different, and you may want to adjust how you're interacting with people. And I've seen this with salespeople that approach me, and they just have no clue how to adjust. Yeah. And then I have no patience.
I know. Because they turn you off.
It's completely turn me off.
Yeah.
Because they come in and they're just like wanting to be my friend, and I'm like,
Yeah.
we need to get to the point because I don't feel like spending a lot of time with you. And
Yeah, or if the worst thing, these people who call you, I feel sorry for them on the phone because they always say hi and they never get my name right, Mrs. Gregory or something. They get it all wrong and they go, "How are you today?" I cannot stand that.
Yes.
So I usually say, sometimes I make something up. I'll say, "Well, my leg got broken. I'm not feeling too good, and I'm really sick, and I'm sniffling." And they just start talking. They don't even pay attention to what you said. Or I'll say, "Why do you ask?" And they don't know what to say. And it's like, take that out. Take that piece out.
Yeah.
Because you called me, you interrupted me. What do you want? There's the doer. See?
Yes.
I'm busy. What do you want?
I know, me too.
So yes, on the phone you can do this. It can be tough on the phone because it might take a few moments to speak to someone and hear the energy in their voice and some of the words that they use. But sometimes you can pick it up. Even in an email, emails are tough, but sometimes you'll get an email where you can tell if it's an analyst because it will be
very wordy,
verbose. Yes, and very detailed.
Yes.
So that's cool. You know how to respond to that. And then other people almost are apologetic. "Oh, I'm sorry to bother you, but you're probably with a lover." I mean, I'm being extreme here.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell from those on how you should react. And just, there's a whole lot of work you can do just on phone and email responses. It doesn't always have to be a live meeting.
Wow.
But connection is so important, and acknowledging, tying that in with listening, good questions and listening skills, because acknowledging what somebody says can bring out more information. As soon as somebody feels that you understand them, they'll start talking more, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want them talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's so much fun, and when it starts to work, the people who actually apply it go, "Wow, I'm so glad that we met. I'm so glad that I sat in on this workshop with you. It's made such a difference for me." And it's all in the application, which is why I try to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah. Very important.
practice skills. Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. This is
thank
great
you.
tools. And even if people are just beginning with this, it's like I said, it's great to just have that awareness of there are different personality types.
Yeah.
Start to change up how you're interacting and see what happens.
Practice on your family.
They're great. Family are great testing zone. That brings up a whole nother piece, right?
Oh yeah, I got stories.
Well, thank you again. So
Dana, thanks.
Yeah,
I appreciate
this has been
it.
lovely.
It's been fun. Thanks.
Awesome.